The 2009 NBA draft was amazing, but you're going to be as shocked as we were to find out that Curry was the number 7 overall pick. If that draft happened again, he'd be number 1, especially since he led the Warriors to their 4th championship and won his first Finals MVP. In this video, we'll discuss the first 6 players drafted before him and look at where they ended up. First off, Curry was the best pick from the 2009 NBA draft. We'd be lying if we said he wasn't. Seriously, the Warriors struck gold with him. He didn't make his first All-Star team until 2014. After that, he quickly became one of the top 10 players in the history of the NBA. Since the 2014-15 season, Curry's helped the Warriors get to the NBA Finals 6 times and win 4 titles. In 2016, when the Warriors set an NBA record by winning 73 games, he unanimously became the first player to win the MVP award. He was also put on the NBA's 75th anniversary team. He's been the team's leading player. Curry helped change the game so that it became a shooting show. Because of how far he could throw the ball and how well he could shoot the three-point shot, players don't play positions in basketball anymore. In 2022, he shot 45.9% from the field and 39.7% from 3 in Golden State's 4 playoff series. He averaged 27.4 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 5.9 assists per game. With the record for most three-point field goals, it's proof that he's the best shooter we've ever seen. That's why it doesn't make sense that 6 players were picked before him, even though none of them have a championship ring. Only 3 players are still in the NBA, and one of them's known as one of the biggest draft busts in NBA history. Up next is Johnny Flynn at number 6 for the Minnesota Timberwolves. In 2009, the Timberwolves had a lot of draft capital. The team picked 6 times, including twice in a row. Kevin Love had an excellent first year with the team. Love was supposed to be the team's new face now that Kevin Garnett had left, and there were rumors about Rubio's first game, so the team picked 2 point guards in a row. Instead of getting Curry and Love together, the team got Flynn for 2 years. He averaged 13.5 points, 4.4 assists in his first year, which was his best season. Then in the summer of 2010, he had hip surgery, which hurt his game the next year and brought his points per game down to 5.3. He was traded to the Rockets and then to the Trailblazers in 2011. Flynn only played in the NBA for 3 seasons, which is a real bummer. Sadly, since 2014, no one's seen him play in a professional league. Followed by Ricky Rubio at number 5, also for the Timberwolves. Rubio's been a pro basketball player for nearly half of his life. He started playing in the Euro League when he was 16 and will turn 32 in October. He didn't play his first game in the NBA until he'd been with the Timberwolves for 2 years and stayed with the team for 6 years before being traded to the Jazz in 2017. Before he was traded, he averaged almost a double-double with 11.1 points and 9.1 assists per game for the Timberwolves. Rubio then played for the Jazz for 2 years. In the last 3 years, he's played for 3 different teams. He joined the Suns in 2019 and had an average of 13.0 points and 8.8 assists per game. He played for the Timberwolves again for a year before joining the Cavaliers last year. Rubio had a great season as a backup player, but then he tore his ACL in December, which prevented him from participating in the current season. Moving on to Tyreke Evans at number 4 for the Sacramento Kings. Evans' first season was his best, and that's why he won Rookie of the Year. In the 2009-10 season, he averaged 20.1 points, 5.3 rebounds, 5.8 assists, and 1.5 steals per game, but he never scored less than 15.2 points per game for the Kings in the next 3 seasons. In 2013, he was sent to the Pelicans, where he played for 4 years before being sent back to the Kings in 2017. Evans played for the Grizzlies in 2017-18 and averaged 19.4 points per game. That wasn't the end of team switching, though. He then played for the Pacers for his last season in the NBA. He hasn't played in the NBA since 2019. Why? He broke the rules of the league's anti-drug program and was kicked out. He just got back into the NBA in February 2022. Next, James Harden at number 3 for Oklahoma City Thunder. Even though he hasn't won a championship, Harden's been the most successful player picked before Curry. In the last 10 10 years, Curry's won 7 three-point field goal titles, while Harden's won the other 3. Harden was in the NBA Finals before Curry with the Thunder in 2012. He hasn't been back because Curry and the Warriors are so good. Harden led the Rockets, but the Warriors beat them twice in the conference finals. Harden had a great career with the Rockets. If we look at all-time points, he's second only to Hakeem Olajuwon. He holds all the best records, not only for three-point field goals, free throws, and assists, but also for triple-doubles, player efficiency rating, and points per game at 29.6. Harden and Curry will probably both be in the Hall of Fame someday, but the question's whether or not Harden will have a ring to wear. Not to mention Hasheem Thabeet at number 2 for the Memphis Grizzlies. Imagine if Mike Conley Jr., Mark Gasol, and Zach Randolph and Stephen Curry played on the same team. Since James Harden was 1 pick after Thabeet, he would have stood a chance, but you get the idea. The Grizzlies made one of the worst draft mistakes when they passed on Thabeet. His best year was his first. He played in 68 games and averaged a career-high 3.1 points, 3.6 rebounds per game. Since 2014, though, he hasn't played in the NBA but has kept playing professional basketball. He was named to the NBA D All-Defense League's 3rd team with the Grand Rapids Drive. Then he played for the Yokohama B Corsairs and the Fort Wayne Mad Ants. In 2020, he joined the Hsinchu JKO Lioneers of the Taiwanese Pro League. He was named the P-League Plus Defensive Player of the Year after leading the league in rebounds and blocks. Next, Blake Griffin was at number 1 for the Los Angeles Clippers. Griffin was a good choice for the Clippers at the draft's top. He had to wait a year to play because of injuries, but his first season was one of the best. Griffin averaged 22.5 points, 10.9 rebounds, and 3.8 assists per game. In the same year, he won the slam dunk contest. After that, Chris Paul joined the team. Griffin, Paul, and DeAndre Jordan all played together to make up Lob City, which was full of exciting dunks. Griffin was a big part of what made Clippers basketball what it is now. If this big 3 hadn't come together, the Clippers would have stayed at the bottom of the league. Griffin had one All-Star game with the Pistons after he left the Clippers, but he was hurt a lot during this time. Last year, he spent the whole season with the Nets and averaged 6.4 points, which was his career low. He'll probably be a veteran's minimum player with a minor role if he wants to win his first championship in the future. Finally, why didn't these teams pick Curry? Looking back, you have to wonder how Curry fell to number 7, especially when he's won the MVP award twice, 4 championships, and the all-time leader in three-point field goals. But each team had its reasons for not going with him. Mayo averaged 18.5 points as a rookie the year before the 2009 draft, so it's easy to see why the Grizzlies wanted to go for size in this draft. Even though the lineup with Conley, Curry, and Gasol could have been impressive, it would have made more sense not to pick Curry. The same thing happened to Thunder. Because they already had Russell Westbrook, the team didn't need a point guard. Kevin Durant was the team's future point guard and small forward, so the team wanted to keep building its core by adding a shooting guard. In the end, this plan worked because this group of players made it to the NBA Finals in 2012, way before Curry was an All-Star. Although Evans won Rookie of the Year, the Kings weren't a good team. If Love and Curry had played together for the Timberwolves, they would have been in the same position. Also, the Thunder made it to the NBA Finals without Curry, and the Clippers would have never been in Lob City with him on the team. And on that note, that's a wrap for this video. What do you think of Steph Curry's 7th position in the 2009 draft? Do you think he should have been picked first? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.